Alright, so boom. After doing my review of the Chris Benoit piece made by Vice, The Dark Side of the Ring, a lot of people have reached out to me asking for my thoughts on numerous episodes. So I figured, you know what? I'd do a series reviewing certain episodes of The Dark Side of the Ring. And the first one that came after Benoit was New Jack, and I plan to go back and talk about the Montreal Screwjob, Bruiser Brody, different episodes that they covered. However, I watched New Jack last night twice, and I was already, briefed on New Jack. I was aware of New Jack. I knew what this man was capable of and also what this man has done throughout his career. However, I did not know this man's upbringing, and there were some incidents that I was unaware of. So this documentary, again, shout out to Vice, hell of a job. But before we even talk about New Jack's career, we got to start with this man's upbringing. I had no clue he witnessed his mother not only getting shot by his father, but also getting stabbed numerous times by his father in front of his siblings.
My childhood was I had a daddy that was alcoholic. He hated my mom. One night, she came home from work, and she walked in the door. He pulled out a knife, and he stabbed her 5 times. He stabbed her.
I'm a bit sad. Actually, I'm lying. I'm quite devastated.
In front of the whole family. He didn't give up. He stabbed her.
It gets worse.
A few months later, she was like, I'm leaving. She picked me up, tried to put me in the car. He shot her in the back of the leg.
New Jack's father died when he was 5 years old. And all of that pain that he saw from that young of an age, still he carries that weight up until now where he's 57. That is ridiculous. But that actually adds some clarity as to why this man was so quick to be set off. Like,
this is what I grew up around. And I'm like, you wonder why sometimes I flip the out?
But let's jump to his career. He starts in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And this man was somebody who could get on the crowd's nerves.
And you know what I'm saying? Nothing for the rednecks up here. You wish I was like some more watermelon, chicken bone sucking black folk.
And New Jack did everything under the sun to get heat.
I like to send a shout out to my homeboy, O.J. Simpson. Keep up the good work, baby. 2 less we got to worry about. You understand? Keep up the good work.
This ain't somebody who just had a gimmick. This is the way this brother lived. And he was snorting coke every single night. This is somebody who's already living life on edge. And then you add drugs to that? No wonder this man was so demented.
I was the only one that probably started coke in the locker room. I mean, it was like a boost. You know what I mean? It was like, if I get high, I can go get high. And I was snorting every night.
Then he ends up leaving Smoky Mountain after, I think, like a year and a half. I think he was there for 1 year, 94 to 95. Goes on to ECW, ran by Paul Heyman, right? And then we have the mass transit accident.
Can you tell me a story of the mass transit incident?
I didn't know it was coming.
Teenage wrestler Eric Kulas calls himself Mass Transit.
He was 17. He thought he was 21.
Eric Kulas is paired up with Devon Dudley, replacing Axel Rotten in their tag team match with the Gangstas.
Mass Transit, this big teenager, went up to New Jack and told him he wanted to get some offense in.
New Jack is the wrong person to try to talk to about how a match should go. He considers himself a vet 3 weeks after starting in the business. So you don't want to talk to this man about anything.
And I said, no. That's one of the most disrespectful things that you could do as a wrestler, to come to a vet and tell him what you want to do. I've been getting high all day. I mean, so I was high. So we told Devon, we said, we're going to throw you out of the ring and don't get back in.
Mass Transit told New Jack, hey man, blade me because I've never bladed before.
I had a surgical scalpel. They're about that long. And I had it taped to a stick. So I stuck him in the forehead a couple of times and did nothing happen. See, I just sliced him.
He blades this man so deep, it makes the blade job from Eddie Guerrero against JBL at, I think, Judgment Day 2005 look, or 2004 I should say, look like a paper cut.
And blood was skeeting out. I'm sure you saw it. And I beat the shit out of the kid.
Man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
Granted, that was his gimmick. They ended up taking him to court. New Jack was facing years in prison, but luckily he was able to get off because not only did the kid lie about his age, you can also throw in his father went backstage and started throwing out racial slurs at New Jack as well, so that aided in New Jack getting off.
When the jury learns Eric lied about his age and experience, the balance shifts in New Jack's favor.
They deliberated for that day. Came back the next day. They found me not guilty.
Fast forward, he has a feud with this guy named Vic Grimes.
Vic Grimes is booked to wrestle New Jack in a match featuring a dangerous climax.
When we climbed up on top of the scaffold, it was shaking. Vic was like, I can't do it, it's too high. Now we on pay-per-view. There's no time for error.
He didn't actually want to do it anymore because he understood, oh wait, New Jack is crazy. This guy jumps off of stuff that are 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet. This man would jump out of a helicopter with no parachute and expect to live, and he just might, because New Jack is just incapable of dying. They go into this match. Vic Grimes gets second thoughts. New Jack's like, nah, we jumping on 3. Vic Grimes is like, nanny.
I said, Vic, let's go on 3. He's Jack, I can't do it. I said, fuck you, we going on 3. I said 1, 2, 3, and I pulled him. He did this flip, and his back landed up against the side of my head, and I cracked my skull.
Cracks his skull, he misses action for a year. They come back for a later match, right?
A year after the horrific fall that cracked open his skull, New Jack agrees to a rematch with Vic Grimes.
New Jack is out for revenge.
That's one of Jack's rules. Don't say you're going to do something and get up there and chicken out. Jack's the kind of guy that if you break those rules, well then he'll probably break you.
Homie uses a stun gun, stuns Vic Grimes, and then throws him off of a scaffolding of about like 25 feet.
I was high. You know what I mean? I was high as a motherfucker. So I just tased him. I tased the shit out of him. He's like, Jack, I can't feel my legs. I said, you ain't gonna need them. Bums away.
I remember seeing this video years ago. I thought it was one of those stimulation CGI sort of situations, like, wow, this is very realistic. This is real. And New Jack was the culprit. Mind you, it wasn't even like 25 feet. Looking at it again, this is like 40 feet. And then New Jack said he would have threw him to the floor, but he ain't threw him far enough.
Vic was a foot from missing the ring completely, which would have killed him.
I wanted him to hit the floor. I just didn't throw him hard enough. I was trying to throw his ass to the fucking floor.
This dude got zero remorse for anybody. Now, it's one thing to want to have respect of your peers. It's another thing to completely throw caution and safety to the wind. All right, I wouldn't be surprised if they sick dogs on him. Me just talking about New Jack got dogs outside wilding, as they should. This is craziness. The way this man lived his life and went about his career. Fast forward, I think a year later, I think this took place in 2002. Fast forward, he encounters another wrestler. This brother's like 69 years old, named Gipsy Joe.
Think there was ever a match where you think you went too far?
Well, I could name a few of them, but I was saying probably Gipsy Joe.
And he's known for being indestructible, okay? He has the hockey that CP9 in One Piece had, all right? He was able, Iron Buddy. This man felt no pain, right? But he encountered a man who's high off cocaine at 24 hours of the day in New Jack, who only inflicts pain.
Looked at how old he was, but then I forgot when we got in the ring.
In 2003, New Jack faces off against 72-year-old journeyman Gipsy Joe.
New Jack is the wrong person to try to talk to about how a match should go.
Night of the show, Joe comes up. He said, just listen to me, kid. I can teach you a lot. I said, you talking to me? We didn't talk no more.
He just brutalized this man. Damn near killed this man.
Was pissed I started beating Joe like that motherfucker owed me money. I beat the shit out of him. Outside the ring, I got a bat. They had barbed wire wrapped around it. They hit him in the head like 3 times.
Jack just said, fuck this old man.
I threw a row of chairs on him. And I beat the shit out of a 100-year-old man.
This is the way New Jack worked. This is one of the reasons why he would have never been able to get to the WWE, because after the Attitude Era, when they took a step away from all of that brutality and you actually had to have some in-ring ability, New Jack would have not only got exposed, this brother would have probably ended up getting sued by everybody under the sun.
With New Jack's escalating violence comes a higher level of risk, and not just for those willing to take him on.
And imagine if he started his career now. It would have been over for him. It would have been over for him. Especially if he got to a large company like that, it'd have been clipped. Because people in the audience would have started trying to file charges for trauma or some sort of things that's happening for them. Because that was crazy. You almost killed a 69-year-old man. I don't even think he knew how old the guy was when he stepped into the ring.
I looked at how old he was, but then I forgot when we got in the ring.
There's something wrong psychologically. Something has happened.
Yep.
Now, I don't know what it is, but Lord, it's back.
New Jack is resigned to working for much smaller outfits in the independent circuit, some of whom can barely muster a crowd. Despite this, New Jack isn't slowing down, and he crosses the line again in 2004. New Jack's opponent is William Jason Lane, wrestling under the name Hunter Red.
New Jack steps in the ring with this man. Apparently, Hunter Red had been wanting to fight him. At least just work a match, and then once it came minutes to actually going out in the ring, reality hit Hunter Red of what he's getting into. So he didn't really want to go and talk to New Jack, and just said, all right, screw it, I'm just going to head to the ring. New Jack said, all right, so boom.
This is what we're going to do. And in the middle of me talking, he got up, he said, all right, whatever, what the fuck, whatever the fuck, fuck it. I'm looking around like, what the fuck? That's who put him up to this? I said, I will see you in the ring. What the fuck ever we do, out, just whatever.
New Jack is the wrong person to try to talk to about how a match should go.
Once again, I've been snorting coke. Once again, I was high as a motherfucker, drinking vodka.
Kid you not, stabs this man 9 times during a match. Stabs him.
And here we go.
Oh, Jack's reaching in his pocket for something. He's cutting him. What the? Oh my! He's stabbing this mother. Run! Oh shit!
He pulled a knife out of his fucking pants and is now apparently stabbing this guy who's trying to get away? What the fuck is going on here? But is he actually stabbing this fucking guy?
I don't know what I just saw.
I stuck him like 9 times. On the news, they said 16. I said, no, it was 9. I counted, it was 9.
Your thoughts?
What? New Jack is charged with aggravated battery and faces up to 15 years in a Florida prison.
Somebody in the audience calls the police. They arrest New Jack. The dude who got stabbed, this is just how crazy wrestling is. This man said, I will drop the charges if you come back to, stay in Florida, and then we could go around the country working this angle of me wanting vengeance against you for stabbing me, and then we could just fight all over the place and make a ton of money.
They took me to jail. Hunter Red come up to the jail. I'm like, why are you here? He said, I got an idea. I'll drop the charges. You take me on the road, and we can make an angle out of this. Hunter Red is looking for New Jack. He's out for revenge.
People in the wrestling business are just demented, bro. Literally. Remember that song, Do Anything for Clout? These people will do anything for $1. New Jack, and the guy dropped the charges. Hunter Red dropped the charges. New Jack was able to go and walk. And then ultimately, never went back to Florida. And as you should. This man bailed you out. There's no reason for me to stay here. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. You were able to aid me in dodging prison time. I'm about to just go live my life. This entire thing was crazy. I have never seen somebody who can operate in such an unprofessional manner but still get work. And I'll say this, New Jack is at fault. However, the people who agreed to get in the ring with him and the promoters who booked him, y'all are just as guilty. Because at the conclusion of Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you already knew the reputation that New Jack had, and also you knew this man's skill set. You knew this man could snap like that. Anything can force this man to snap. And you still not only sign him to your promotions, you offer this man a contract and give this man money. You let this guy go out there and do matches galore to where somebody's safety could be gone. And then the other wrestlers who agreed to get in the ring with him, this ought to be some non-sanctioned match. Whatever happens to you, that's your business. When Smoky Mountain and Jim Cornette decided to put at the bottom of New Jack's promos in 94 and 95 that his views do not express that of their company, that's very smart. But at the same time, he's still going out there and wrestling. So if he snaps somebody's neck and they die, you'll be at fault as well because you allowed him to go out there. You can just go ahead, terminate the contract, buy this man out, give him the money that he wants, and he would have never worked again. After the mass transit incident, he should have never been working again. But the kid lied. The people on the side of the business, the wrestlers, they would understand, like, hey man, you lied, you got in the ring, you knew what you was getting into. If your parents should have had better supervision. So all right, no problem. The Vic Grimes situation, and hearing that this brother had no remorse for what happened, because mind you, New Jack ain't apologized back then and started retracting it now. This brother had the same stance. Like, man, I wish I'd have thrown him farther. He said that since 2002. So the fact that this man was working until 05, that makes no sense. And then make a comeback later in the early 2010s. This don't make no sense. New Jack is somebody who had no business reaching a wrestling ring. This guy was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I wonder why sometimes I flip the fuck out. Because, motherfucker, I was raised in a family that was fucking retarded. So I'm like, if I show up for a show and I go out there and do my thing, be grateful that I ain't attacking your ass. You know what I mean?
I'm going to put the link in the description below if you have not watched it already. It's down there in the description, also as the top pinned comment as well, because this is something that you've got to watch. If you're a wrestling fan, go watch Vice's Dark Side of the Ring New Jack. It's definitely worth checking out. But this man was on a whole different level. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I don't think we'll ever see something like it again. The closest person to him is what, maybe Abdullah the Butcher? Because that dude was crazy as well. Take a look at New Jack now. Look at his forehead. Messed up. Go back and watch this man's matches. All he did was not only put his body at risk, but other people's lives at risk as well. There are a few. ECW was a clusterfuck of an organization where hardcore wrestling hit new heights every single week. There are some to where you can look and say, oh man, they're going past their limits to entertain the crowd. And there's others where this is just, well, wait a minute. Hold on now. Wait, this is supposed to be a match. Wait, you stabbing people? Wait a minute. So I don't know what else to say, man. Go and check it out. Let me know what your thoughts on New Jack was. The character, the person, the wrestler. Because I don't think there's any difference between the two. I think this man just lives his life on edge, and that's just the way that he is. And let me just point this out before I go. He closed out the entire documentary. They said,
say one day they decide to like make a movie about your life, what would be the end of the New Jack movie?
I'm sitting in a wheelchair, snorting coke. I'm just sitting there snorting coke, just getting high as a motherfucker. And it'd be like the end. I'd be like, thank you, bitches.
This guy is demented. But go and check it out. Let me know what your thoughts on it was. If you haven't watched it, click the link, watch it, and then tell me what your thoughts are. And if you have already watched it, tell me what your thoughts on New Jack is. And even if you haven't watched it at all, and you just know about New Jack, tell me what you think about New Jack. Because I just think this brother was and is absolutely crazy. And by the way, I wasn't even going to say anything about this particular part of the documentary because it really don't got nothing to do with New Jack. But this is his partner, so I feel as if I have to speak briefly about Mustapha Saeed. This man was smoking pencil shavings.
Mustapha's crazy, bro.
The dude was rolling pencil shavings in one of those blunt things, and he wanted me to smoke it with him. I'm like, no, dude, I'm good.
Was Mustapha smoking pencil shavings?
I plead the fifth.
What would compel a man to smoke pencil shavings? Listen, you gotta have all of the things wrong with you. Drug problems aside, something wrong with this brother. What compels you to want to smoke pencil shavings? What in your mind says to let me go buy some fronto, let me go buy some backwoods, let me go buy some rolling papers, and then go to a sharpener, sharpen up a pencil, not to take a test, not to utilize on a number 2 Scantron, but to take the pencil shavings and put it inside of the rolling paper, proceed to light it up and smoke pencil shavings. Who does this? Who does this? And he had the audacity to try to recruit New Jack to come along and smoke it with him.
Yeah, Jack, this is the new shit. He had pencil shaving. He had some shit he had found growing on the side of the building in a bag. I said, if you spoke this shit, it's gonna come back and haunt you one day. He's like, nah, man, this is some good shit, man. I'm up right now. You're a trap.
No wonder this man went paranoid. No wonder this man was crazy. How do you even pitch that to somebody? I'm curious who informed him smoking pencil shavings was the new wave in the mid-90s. Who else was out here smoking pencil shavings? I didn't know this was a thing. Are they pencil shaving drug dealers? Or are they not even really drug dealers? Would you consider pencil shaving a drug? I wouldn't. Who are these pencil shaving dealers? You got people on corners selling pencil shavings? Do they sharpen pencils on the corner? Because there's no reason to have any sort of suspicion. If law enforcement comes around, you see a gang of dudes on the corner, you're not going to stop them because they sharpening pencils. Well, probably because you think they might use it as shanks. But outside of that, nobody would see somebody dealing pencil shavings and assume they're going to smoke it. Where did this come from? I was so bewildered, perplexed, flummoxed, completely flabbergasted, trying to understand where this fad came from. Pencil shavings? Really? For what? So, who's smoking pencil shavings?
Black folk! Check those promos out. When Mustapha's standing there next to him going, dude, that's what he was doing all day.
And you know what I'm saying? Nothing but rednecks up here.
That wasn't Mustapha being there for the interview. That was Mustapha.
Were no other drugs available? Could you not find heroin to inject into your own epidermis? If you was out here snorting crack, cocaine, crystal meth, cat piss, I would have felt much more comfortable than pencil shavings. What's wrong with you? Could you imagine this man going to an AA meeting because he out here smoking pencil shavings? Could you imagine this man trying to go somewhere and saying his damn addiction to people? How can you listen to this man and not say, nah, I don't think you ever gonna recover from this? You gotta write him down to death note. You gotta send him to the shadow realm. Hi, my name is Mustapha Saeed. Hi, Mustapha Saeed. I decided to come to AA because I'm addicted to smoking pencil shavings. What? This is a season finale of My Strange Addiction. Matter of fact, this might just be a whole season because I don't know how you follow this. This gotta be a series finale and no cliffhanger left. Because how do you explain you smoking pencil shavings? If you're this man's parent, relative, child, girlfriend, significant other, how do you live your life knowing at one point he was smoking pencil shavings? Pencil shaving? I can't. Soon enough we're gonna find out he used to inject himself with ink because pencils wasn't enough. I needed some pens. Nah, this different, bro.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Okay.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him?
What the hell wrong with them? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with it?
Do it! Just do it!